Hello everybody and welcome to my July vlog. My name's Lee Foster Wilson and I'm an artist and illustrator from Cornwall in the UK. So July was the month that the UK boiled. I hope everybody has been okay in all that heat. It's also been quite a busy one here. July always is, as my children come to the end of their school term. There's always quite a lot on, such as the school play and sports day, etc. But in a funny kind of way, these lovely little interruptions prepare me for having them home for the next 6 weeks and the summer holidays and juggling childcare and work and having fun with them, which is it's a nice preparation for that coming up. So we've had that busyness around there. And then my husband, poor thing, has also had COVID this month, which kind of threw off our usual routine. And I don't know about you, but I'm quite a routine-based person. I like to know what's going on a day-to-day basis. And as we both work from home, we have our childcare and work situation is quite a well-oiled machine, and it means that we both get the best of both worlds of working and having time with the children, which is lovely and works really well until something like this throws a spanner into the works really suddenly. So that kind of threw off my concentration levels quite a lot. But in amongst all of that, I have managed to do some sketching towards my fine art goals, and I've also managed to make a triptych of new pieces which kind of straddle that line between fine art and illustration. So that was a success. So with that in mind, I've also been thinking about artistic style again and where my illustration fits in with the fine art and how an artist's style will change throughout their career, and when those shifts come, the kind of discombobulation that can make you feel as an artist. So sort of showing you the new work, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I also have some exciting new pieces in my homeware range with Shruti to share with you. And there'll be lots of drawing and just the thoughts on artistic style as well as we go along. I hope you like it. Enjoy! You may remember from last month's vlog that I made some washy, brushy, watery backgrounds to work on in my sketchbook. And well, I finally found some time to work over them with these abstract pieces that I've been playing with recently. They're kind of lots of blobby shapes, inspired by flora and layering and light coming through petals, that kind of thing. And I've been really enjoying them, kind of working on them from a fine art perspective and kind of going away from them, giving myself time to think about it and come back to them and adding bits. And these are what I've sketched up so far this month. I'm really pleased with them and feel like I'm really getting to grips with it all a lot better now. But I do still have to be braver and move out of this A4 sketchbook more. But I know that will come. I'll get there eventually. And in the meantime, I really feel like my footing with this is becoming a lot more secure. This one's my favourite. There are elements that could do with some improvement that I'm not quite so pleased with as others, as there is with all art really. But on the whole, I'm really pleased and I feel like I've got something going here, and I'm excited to see where else it takes me. Alongside that work, I've also scratched an itch. I mentioned in my introduction that I managed to make a triptych of new pieces this month, and this piece that I'm drawing here is the last one that I made in the series. They're based on a little biro sketch that I made in my notebook earlier this year. It was one of those ideas that just pops into your head when you least expect it, kind of fully formed. So I quickly made a thumbnail, and honestly, that original thumbnail has so little detail in it, but the idea was down and my mind kept coming back to it. The idea was to draw a vibrant flower with words on the leaves: dream, hope, love, forever. Kind of like words to live by. I was really pleased with it, the final piece, which I'll show you later, but I felt like it didn't want to be a standalone piece, so I set to work thinking up 8 more words to live by so I could make the triptych. I really love working on those brushy backgrounds again, so these are all on them too. In fact, I think I might make all of my work on brushy backgrounds from now on. But I also really enjoy making these new pieces as well. They feel to me like a proper mashup between my older work that's still out there in circulation and the newer abstract fine art that I've been playing with, like down to the floral theme and the blobby layered backgrounds, which you'll see later on. The birds I've been making, which I haven't had time to make one of this month, but I'm hoping to next month add to the series. But the birds I've been making have also really influenced these, and there's definitely a link there, and perhaps these are even like a step on from those as well. I've definitely used what I've learned from making the birds to make these with the brushier florals and the looser hand. So thinking about all of this got my brain worrying about artistic style again a lot this month. It's something I seem to come back to quite a lot. And I feel like probably because my own style has shifted a lot over the last year or so, and at times it's felt like quite unsettling. But I've wanted to change my work for a while, and finally giving myself time to explore that has been a real weight off actually. Though having said that, it's felt hard to say goodbye to the elements of my work that weren't satisfying me anymore, like for several reasons. The main ones being that leaving behind the old expected ways of working is really hard, but it's also difficult as a commercial artist because of expectation and the fear of bringing new ideas into the world for the first time, and I guess how they might be received. But there's also a general discomfort with new work until a more solid footing's found, I find. That sort of thing really. I've talked about it before, but I have like a career need to be making more commercial work alongside like my little whims as a fine artist too. So straddling that line so both those facets of my career are satisfied is also something I've had to take into account. Those things kind of make it quite complicated to unpick really, but style is something that all artists will ponder at some point in their career, especially if you're just starting out, or you may be wondering how to find your style, or if you're a more established artist like me and you feel the need to make a shift in your work, it can throw up all sorts of questions and uneasiness. It's good to remember though that an artist's style is an ever-evolving thing, and that no one will make the same work from when they're starting out for the whole of their lives. At some point it will evolve. It could be quickly, or it could take more time. It may just happen really naturally, or it may come as a result of feeling a dissatisfaction with your work, so you feel the need to force a change to become excited and pleased by your output again. Personally, that's how I felt, like I was a bit dissatisfied with my own work. I didn't like it as much as other work I was seeing, and I knew that I could do better by myself and my standards, and I felt I needed to make a style shift. I won't say a change, because while I'm playing with two quite different facets of my practice, like the illustration and the fine art, I still feel like they feed into one another, and at some level there are very much traces of my older work there. So in my case, it's kind of a shift rather than a complete change. It was just a case of feeling like I wanted to loosen up and also incorporate newer ideas into my work. Like the natural world and our relationship to it has long played a part in my art, but I've read and seen new things that have got me thinking, and I feel now it's time for me to dive deeper into those ideas. With that in mind though, I do feel like ideas are also an important style element too. Like it's not just about the aesthetics. The ideas behind work and what drives us to create in the first place can also have a big impact on how we make our art. And I think often that can be more consistent over a career, even if the visuals do change. So if you're trying to find a style or hone a style like I have been over the last year, and I kind of still am to some extent, I do feel like there are some things you can do to help yourself along. I have gone into this in a lot more depth on my blog, which is on my website, but I will outline some of those things that I like to do while we look at this piece here coming to life before our eyes. One of the first things I like to do when I'm thinking about making art and style is I like to mood board, and I gather images from Pinterest or books, and I make a mood board of art and objects that really make my heart sing and leap. And then I try to analyse why, like what it is that I'm drawn to, what it is about the texture or lack of it, the colours, the themes and recurring objects. And I think doing this helps you to define your own taste standards and what to expect from yourself when you make your own work, so that you can also make art that makes your heart sing and leap. The things I'm drawn to outside of my art are also up for analysis, and I look to see whether I can incorporate them into my work too, like ideas I've had, the things I like to do and see. For example, at the moment I'm loving my garden and the way the light catches the plants and the petals and shines through them. And this is also, I like to pair it with lots of ideas I've got about the natural world and our place in it, from reading books like Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, which was one of my favourite books that I've read in the last year, and also Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. And And at the moment they're playing out with the layering of colour and they're huge representations of flowers and flora on the page. And that is of course like open to change, but it's where I'm at right now. I also like to surround myself with objects and images that I like, not just my mood board, but other bits and pieces, postcards from galleries and little trinkets and things that I've picked up along the way. I think that they all kind of also influence my taste standards, and also like from looking at them and having them around me on a daily basis, I feel like they kind of subliminally feed into my work. And another thing I like to do, which is a hard question to ask ourselves really, is ask, would I like this piece if I saw it in a gallery? A resounding yes would be a lovely answer, I guess, but probably we're more likely to say maybe, or I like elements of it in response to our own work. That's not a bad thing though. It's a recognition that there's always room for improvement, because after all, being creative and finding style is a journey, and there's never really an end point, is there? Having said all that, I think overall it's probably best just not to overthink it too much. I guess you just have to keep on playing and taking those elements you're happy with and that you like the most and working with them until you're happy with the whole thing. And also just have the faith that your hand will still show no matter what you make or how you make it, and somehow it will end up being in the style that suits you best at that time. And also, if you just keep making, certain elements will become intuitive for you to use and eventually an integral part of your style without you even having to think too hard about it, I guess. These are all things that I'm telling myself anyway as I make this new work and kind of navigate this style shift I'm in at the moment. Don't forget, I have written a bit more about it on my blog if you'd like to check that out too. And here it is all finished. And here it is again with its brother and sister, I guess, as part of the triptych. I feel like they could have become a little bit cheesy with those sorts of words, but I also feel like in a creative context and with the bold colours, it kind of brings it back from that cheesy brink. I'm going to release them as print soon anyway, so I hope others feel the same way. I also heard a neat little tip on the internet about flattering curled artworks on paper, which these ones definitely were. It's for the lazy artists like me who can't be bothered to stretch paper all the time. And I tried it on these three. You spray some water on the back and flatten it under a heavy book, leave to dry, and let's see what happens. It worked! They're nice and flat. Another flat one. Oh, perfect. I'm definitely going to try this again. Oh. So to finish, I mentioned earlier about not being able to let go of an older style completely. And a lot of that has to do with older work being in circulation and new things with old work on them coming out. It takes years to develop collections or for books to be released, that sort of thing. But with that in mind, I have some gorgeous new pieces out with Shruti that I wanted to share with you. These all have my older work on them, but I'm still so proud of them. It's actually like a dream come true to have a collection like this. And though my newer work is different, there's definitely the common themes and my hand in there. I'll give you a little run through. One of my favourites from the new range is this really sweet little plate and mug set for kids. Look at that, it's so dinky and sweet. It says time to fly on the other side, and they can have their milk in there. And then the cookies can go on this little moon plate. I originally designed this to have the nose like my drawings, but something to do with health and safety in the manufacturing process meant that he has to be a noseless moon, but I love him all the same. I just think it's such a sweet little set. I'm so happy with it. There's also this thermos flask too, which weirdly I'm quite excited about because I'm not a hot drinks drinker. I don't like tea and coffee or hot chocolate, but on those mornings when you have a bit of a tickle in your throat, and you just need something warm, like some hot honey and lemon or something. I just feel like this is going to be a great addition to my morning routine or my desk. Kids' assemblies, that sort of thing. I love the colours, blue and pink. Can't go wrong. There's also these bowls, which I really love as well. Look up, look down, and the pattern goes all the way around. And there's also sing your own song, and again the pattern goes all the way around. And it's so great to work with companies who will put your patterns together like this, and then you kind of just have to tweak, just do a few little tweaks and improve it, and it's all put together for you. So lovely. Such big cereal bowls as well. My family and I are going to enjoy eating our cereals out of those. What else is there? Oh, there's this lunch bag, which is also just really well made, really roomy. I've got loads of sandwiches in there, whole family's lunch. And when we were designing this one, we specifically wanted it to have a handle on top so that busy mums can hang it on the back of their pram and put their little one's lunch inside. I thought that was a really nice touch. There's also this tea towel based on my Do Your Thing design. In fact, it's just lifted straight from it. The printing process has done an amazing job at picking out all of the little details, and it's a really lovely thick cotton, so really great for glass drying, bringing a shine to your glassware, that sort of thing. And it's all recycled cotton. There's also this bunting pack, which is also made from recycled cotton. And it's actually really lovely and long as well. Like some buntings that you get aren't that long, and they don't really do much to decorate a room. Because this one's got loads of little pennants on it. Oops. Gosh, just stay there. Okay. And it just says, be kind to yourself, mixed up with this pattern. And again, the pattern was taken from my artwork and put together by Shruti, their designers. And they've done such a lovely job. Pink and yellow, such a great colour combination. And that's going to really brighten up the studio. I really need to get that hung up. I don't know where to put it yet. I'm sure I'll find somewhere. There's also this height chart, which I'm really excited about. Again, it's made from recycled cotton. It's really lovely to design this because they said it was going to be screen printed, and I used to do a lot of screen printing, and designing for screen printing is where I got my love of working with limited colour palettes. So this is the whole design. I'm not tall enough to hold it up, I'm going to have to roll it up at the top. Goes all the way down past this little snoozy cat to, oh, hang on, I'm tangled up in it now. These cute little creatures at the bottom, and the snail. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that one. So nice. It's just a shame that my children we're still measuring them, but they are a little bit taller now. But I'm going to hang it up anyway, I think. It's just a nice decoration. So that's that for this month. Can you hear my cat purring? He's come to say hello while I finish up doing these little recordings here. Next month, I hope I'm able to show you at least the start of a bigger piece of work on a canvas or a large piece of paper. In the meantime, I have a feeling that this will be what I can see out of my very much in need of a clean studio window for the majority of the summer. At the end of lockdown, we bought a really kind of oversized paddling pool for the kids, and yeah, honestly, best money we've ever spent. Good times. Well, I hope you have a lovely August, and yeah, speak to you soon. Bye.